Hello everyone, welcome to Best Recipes with Sharon. I'm excited to bring to you one of my very favorite cookie recipes. It's called Double Double Chocolate Chip Cookies, and you make one batch and turn it into two types of cookies, and both are just loaded with flavor. So stay with me and I'll show you how this is done. And thanks in advance for watching the ads that support this video, and for watching the video all the way through, and also for giving your comments and subscribing to this channel. Alright, so let's get right to making these. Preheat your oven to 375 degrees. Add 1 cup of butter to the large mixing bowl. Crack open 2 large eggs and add them to the butter. Then add half a cup of firmly packed brown sugar and 1 cup of white sugar. Mix that together until it's well incorporated. Add half a teaspoon of salt and 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. Then add 1.25 cups of all-purpose flour and also add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And mix this into the rest of your ingredients until it's well combined. And this will form a soft dough. And the dough will be thick enough that you can shape it into small balls, or simply drop it from the teaspoon. Now this is where we turn one batch into two types of cookies. Split your dough completely in half. Then take the one bowl and we'll make a double chocolate cookie out of this one. I add 1/4 cup of cocoa and mix that into the dough. Also add 1/4 cup of white sugar to this dough. That is extra from what you already have in it. That's because you need to compensate for the cocoa that you've added. Then I also add 1/4 cup of chopped pecans. And then add 1/2 cup of chocolate chips. Now this makes your double chocolate chip cookies. Set that bowl aside and go to the other bowl and add chocolate chips. Simply add chocolate chips to this one and you'll have chocolate chip cookies just like the traditional style. And I add, between 1/2 cup and 3/4 cup, depends on how much chocolate chips you like in there. We like to be quite generous with ours. Using your large spoon, mix that in until the chocolate chips are well incorporated. Now there you have it, we have two types of cookies, made really easy just by mixing up one batch of batter and adding only a few extra ingredients. So we just roll them into balls now and place them on parchment paper on cookie sheets. And place them about 1.5 to 2 inches apart so that they have room to spread out. For the double chocolate ones, I dip the bottom of a glass in some white sugar and I press them down so that they will spread out evenly and be a nice uniform cookie. And a little bit of sugar on top actually adds to the cookie as well. Now on to the other half of the batter that we made into classic chocolate chip cookies. We'll roll them into balls and place them on parchment paper on a cookie sheet. And also keep them about 1.5 to 2 inches apart. But for these ones, I don't dip a glass in sugar, I just use my fingers to press them down and avoid using the sugar on top. And you only press them down just a little bit to give them a start. So when the oven's preheated to 375 degrees, you can place them in the oven on the middle rack, or if you're on convect bake, you can do both of them at the same time. And your oven will automatically convert to the right temperature if you set it at 375 on convect bake. And everybody's oven is different, but on average, it will take about 9 minutes to bake these perfectly. Or it could take up to 10 minutes depending on your oven. I did use convect bake for these, so they're coming out of the oven right at the exact same time. And you know, the beauty of this recipe is that you can divide it up and make two different types of cookies like I just showed you, but it's also a large batter that makes between 3 and 4 dozen cookies. So even when you split it up, you might get 1.5 to 2 dozen of each type. And who doesn't love that? Both very delicious cookies, and well worth the making. Thanks so much for watching today's episode, everyone. And until next time, happy eating. Now go make some.